It's too long. Mathematical properties, the ones that you should know without beyond a shadow of a doubt are these, I don't know, there's 5 or 6 of them. There is the commutative property. There is the associative property. There is the distributive property. There is the identity property. And I believe the other one is the zero property. Wow, maybe I don't need to go over this. But it never hurts to hit this just a couple of times here. You have to think, when you see these properties, you have to think about what you see happening with the thing. In the commutative property, it's about when numbers actually move. Numbers move. That's what commute means. In other words, that is where you get 7 plus 8 equals 8 plus 7. The numbers have moved and changed places. Okay? That's the reason why when you have a long list of numbers like 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and you add them together, that's the reason you can group them in groups of 10. Because it doesn't matter the order you do them. You can move the 2 to come after the 8 and the 7 to come after the 3 to come after the 7 and go 10, 24. That's the reason you're allowed to do that, because in addition and subtraction, or addition and multiplication, you're allowed to move them. You can't move them in subtraction because it doesn't work that way. 7 minus 4 is not the same as 4 minus 7. These right here only work with addition and multiplication. They're not going to work with division and whatever. The difference between that and the associative property is what? In the associative property, you will always see the parentheses because the order of the numbers stays the same. 7 plus 3 plus 4 is the same thing as 7 plus 3 plus 4. The only difference is the numbers you associate together. The numbers get grouped in different ways together. Okay? You will always have a parenthesis with this. And the parentheses will move, but the numbers stay in the same order. Numbers in same order. And it doesn't matter whether, again, addition or multiplication. 6 times 5 times 4 is the same thing as 6 times 5 times 4. Different parentheses, different places. Now, not to get mixed up with the distributive property, which is the, again, you will see parentheses, but the parentheses go away. In other words, you take, if you have 3 times a plus 4, the distributive property sounds like you distribute things out. You multiply this times this, and you're going to get 3a plus 12. That is what you have parentheses on one side, they go away because you multiplied them out and through. Think of the word distribute. Or distribution. If it's a distribution center, we have one of the world's best stores distribution center right in our backyard, and that is what?
Soil.
No, no.
Walmart.
Come on, save big money.
Menards.
Yeah, Plano is one of the distribution centers for the Midwest here, and you see Menards trucks spreading out all over the place here. They go through town, I know, at a pace, an unbelievable pace. Why would Yorkville, by the way, be a good place to have a distribution center? No, land.
Chicago?
Look at where we're at.
Midwest,
We are-
you go from
Soil.
east to west.
If you go 20 miles to the north, you jump on 80, which goes downtown Chicago or Minneapolis, whatever up there. If you go 20 miles to the south of us, you get on, north is 88, south is 80. Yep, and you can jump on 55 here. In addition to, look at how many major roads go through Yorkville. Route 47 is a pretty big road, getting bigger all the time. Route 71 is a huge road that goes on a diagonal in a different direction. Route 34 goes as a nice east-west kind of road. Yorkville is like a hub of major Plus, we're outside of the city, so where you don't have to worry so much about traffic. So a good place to put a distribution center would be here because you don't have to fight a lot of traffic and you can get to major expressways very easily. Now back to this thing, I don't want to run out of time because I really want a lot of homework. The identity property. When you think of identity, think about when people ask you what your identity is or whatever, really just think about this. You get the same thing. And it's different for addition and it's different for multiplication. The identity property of addition would be, you do what? You get the same thing in addition, you add what? 0. Yeah. 5 plus 0 gives you 5. Which might be goofy to you, but it doesn't work with zeros with multiplication because 5 times 0 doesn't give you 5, it gives you 0. So it is, they might go a plus 0 equals a. But adding 0 is the identity property of addition. Of multiplication, the identity property would be to multiply by 1. And what was on today's thing? Today's thing was, tell me why a times 0 is not identity.
No, it's a equals 0 times a.
A equals 0 times a. Why is that not identity? Well, because that's addition. Identity would be 5 times 1, or b times 1 equals b. You get the same thing. What do you do to get the same thing? That's multiplication. They don't really talk about the identity property of division, which would be, I guess, divide by 1, 2, but it's usually addition to multiplication that they talk about. Check, son.
What does that say on your distributive?
It says parentheses, go away. Go away, Jackson, go away. Please, go away. And then the last one is the 0 property, and that is only of multiplication. And that just means when you multiply by 0, you get 0. Multiply by 0, get 0. And that's pretty much, children, and I can tell you for a matter of fact that rarely did we teach this back in the day often.